Hello everybody, it's Panda. So today we're going to be working on the B.I.T.S system. So to start out, just grab the block of your choice and place down 6 rows of 2x1 blocks just like this. Then go ahead and put a block down in the middle with a block on top. And delete the blocks on the bottom. Now we just want to widen that up. So place one more block up like this, and then just add another block to the back of that one block there. Go ahead and grab your repeaters. And we're going to place 2 repeaters just inside, all the way down, just like this. Now grab your torches, redstone torches, and we're just going to place them right here on the backs of that block. Place a block on top of them torches. Not like that, like that. There we go. And we're going to put some redstone dust right there on top of those blocks we just placed. So you should have something that looks like this. Alright, so now go ahead and grab your comparators. And we're going to be placing comparators along those top blocks right there. So just come in there like this. And place them right there on that first block, right next to those blocks with the dust on it. And then put a block right behind it. Now we're going to be putting droppers on the bottom of those blocks, just like this. So not the top one, you got to make sure you're putting it on the bottom one. So not like that, like that. Nope, not like that again. There you go. Now place a dropper on top of that dropper facing this direction just like this. And we're going to put some hoppers down there on that bottom dropper pointing into the bottom dropper. So just like that. If I'm going too fast, I know it takes a while to build this, especially if you're in survival mode. I've built like 4 of them now in survival mode. It does take a while, so you have to build up some scaffolding. So just pause the video as you need to. But yeah, so now we're going to take some blocks and we're going to put them over the top of those comparators we just placed. So you should have something that looks like this. And now we place blocks over the top of our redstone. And we need to put blocks on top of these droppers. And some redstone dust on top of those blocks. Alright, so you should have something that looks like this. Alright, now grab your redstone torches and we're going to place them right on top of this block. All the way down, just like that. And now you want to put a block on top of those torches as well. Alright, so you should have this shape. And we want to put some levers just on the top of these blocks that's right over the top of our redstone dust. And this is just so we can manually switch the tracks if we need to. But for the most part, you should never really use them. I just put them there so that you have that option. And now put some blocks over the top of the redstone dust over here. This is where your detector rails are going to go. So go ahead and grab your detector rails. And we're going to place detector rails right on the top of those blocks, just like this. Fill in the hole And you're going to place powered rails on top of those blocks we just placed. Oh, not powered rail. There we go. And now we're just going to fill in these holes right here. This is where your carts are actually going to make the turns to go to each unloading cell. So grab your powered rails and put them right in between, just like that. Now grab your regular rails and put them in here like this. This is going to be your overflow line, so if you already have 6 carts in the system being unloaded and for some reason you get another cart from somewhere, or somebody else sends 6 carts not knowing you're already using it, you can put a little silo right off the edge of this block and those 6 carts will drop in. You'd have to manually come unload them, but you know, it keeps them from bumping into the carts you already have being unloaded. So now you need to grab 6 shovels. It could be any kind of tools, a sword, anything like that. Just something that gives off a really strong redstone signal. And you're going to place them right here in that top dropper. Just like that. Alright, so that's most of the track part of it done. So now we're going to start working on the power circuitry of the whole machine. So just place up 2 blocks like this right on the end of those repeaters, and you're going to place down some redstone dust right on the top of those 2 blocks. Grab my stuff, torches, comparators, repeaters, and redstone dust we're going to need for this. So just place down your dust, put a block on top, and bring it over 1 more, and place a redstone torch right on the back side of that block. So you should hear it tick just like that. Alright, and then bring it over just like this. So you should have 5 on the inner side, 4 on the outer side, and place 3 pieces of dust right there, and place comparators, and this will extend your redstone signal, which is what we needed to do. Placed them the wrong way, so just go ahead and break them out and make sure you have them facing the other way. Now put a block right there and redstone right on the top of it. Place another block there and a block right beside it, and this is where your redstone torches are going to go. And these will reset the system and start the system unloading process, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. So put some blocks underneath, delete out that one, and place 4 blocks just like this where you meet that redstone dust right there. Put down a piece of dust there and there and there, and you're going to put a repeater right there in the middle. So this is what you should have right now, and as you see, put it over there, and we'll get a couple clicks here in just a second from the system resetting itself. And there they are right there. So go ahead and place a block over that first torch and a block right beside it. So you should have something that looks like this, and you're going to put a torch on that top block right there. Now put a block right against that torch, and you're going to put a torch on the front sides of these blocks here that you're placing. And we need to run this all the way over until we get just past the 5th cell for the unloading. So 1 more should do it. Next, you're going to place blocks down underneath these torches. So just click on the torch and place the block, and it will place the blocks there just like that. And now we're going to put torches on the inside of that. Oh, not like that. I'm trying to go too fast. There we go. And doing that all the way down to the end. So this is what you should have. You should have something that looks like this right now. And next we're going to drop down to our droppers, and we're going to place a block on those top blocks. Just like that. These are temporary blocks, so we're going to be deleting them back out again. And place in droppers facing downwards on the back side of those blocks. And then now you just want to delete out your temporary blocks. You're going to place 2 hoppers on top of each one of these droppers. So just like this. And you should be parallel with your tracks over there. Alright, next you want to place blocks on the back side of those droppers we just placed. And you're going to put redstone, or bring it up 2 more blocks, just like this, yeah. And then you're going to put redstone on top of those blocks. Put a block in between these hoppers. We're going to end eventually power these blocks, and these blocks are what are going to lock your hoppers from unloading items. And place repeaters going into those blocks. Now you just want to put half slabs in front of your hoppers, just like this. And blocks over the top of those redstone dust right there. This is where your tracks are going to sit to have the upward angle. And you can see me placing the powered rails right now. Make sure you put in a regular rail on those half slabs before you delete that top one, just like I'm doing right now, because you're going to have to redo it, because as soon as you place those other blocks, it will drop those tracks down. So before you delete off those rails like I just did, make sure you place a regular rail right there on top of those half slabs. See, this is what will happen if you didn't. So you'll just have to go back and do it again. So you should have something that looks like this. And now we're going to go back to the back of the machine. And we're going to place half slabs right on the tops of the block against the droppers. Just like this. And now we're going to place repeaters on top of those half slabs facing the other direction like that. Next you want to click on the edge of the redstone dust that is there in the middle and place a block on the back side of it like so. So pause the video if you guys can't keep up. I know it's a lot, and I think I'm moving a little fast. But yeah, now you want to place the repeaters on top of those blocks you just placed, and then put blocks over the tops of these torches as well. And this is what will send the signal through that block to those repeaters. And this is what will power your minecarts to let them know to go. And we need one more torch right here on the back of this block with a block on top of it. So this is what you should have right now. So go ahead and place a block on top of that first torch and then bring it up 3 blocks just like that. And then you're going to place a sticky piston right there in between those two. Just like that. Now go to the front, and you want those repeaters that are on your half slabs at the bottom. You want to set them to, you want to click them twice. Set them to 3 ticks, just like that. And there we go. And the last one. There we go. And now you're going to place blocks in between those slabs, just like this. And you're going to put a redstone torch on top. you want to place blocks on top of those torches, and this is what is going to lock your hoppers. See, now we're getting that signal to those blocks, and that is locking the hoppers that are underneath our rails. What this does is it syncs up all the mine carts, and it makes sure they're all being unloaded at the same speed at the same time. So it doesn't start unloading until you get all 6 carts in there. Now you want to come up to the very first dropper, and you want to delete out that repeater that was right there and place a comparator to detect items that are in that hopper. Alright, so come to the front again, and now we're just going to wrap the rails. This is where your rails will go, around just like this. And then you can run your rails off of that, going in whichever direction you want. And place in our regular rails to get the nice curve. And now we're going to be placing blocks right here in the middle between all these tracks. And we're going to put redstone torches on the top of that, and that will power the rails without sending power through the block like a lever would. And place your torch right there. Alright, now we need to power this side, so we're going to place blocks right here in the middle, all the way down. And this is just if you need to walk up here, then you know you won't fall through and get stuck down there in the machine. So there we go. And now you want to come down to these repeaters, and that inside one, first one, you want to set it to 3, and that one to 4, and then all the rest of them to 3. If you are on a server and you have a little bit of lag, maybe a little more lag than normal, you might have to play with these repeaters. You'll know right away if it's going to work with just 3 ticks like that. If it doesn't, then you need to adjust them a little bit, and you know, that's something you'll have to play with, but you'll find out right now. So we're going to test it. So you need to grab 6 minecarts with chests and just put them into the system. If any of these tracks do like a double flip, they'll flip to the left and then flip to the right, then you know your delay is too short. So you might have to play with those depending on the lag situation you have on your world, server, or wherever you're playing. So they should all be like this. You should have all your tracks facing that direction. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and install the clock. And this is what's going to control your unloading speed. Again, you will have to play with this a little bit depending on your storage. We have it set even much faster than this clock can go on my server because the mega storage can handle it. So you'll have to play with this a little bit as well and make sure your storage system, because this thing will break your storages. It will send so many items in there that it will just clog everything up. So go ahead and place a block down from where that comparator was, and then a half slab right next to it. And you want to put a repeater on top of the solid block and a torch on top of your half slab. And then just make this shape like this and put a torch right there in the middle. Then you want to put a block right next to it and 2 repeaters right on top. And this is also what is going to pace that bottom hopper into the first system, because that 6th cell is what controls everything. So put a torch on top of that block, or right on the side of that block, and put dust right over the top, just like this. Next, you want to come to the front side and place a block and come down 1 more block, deleting the block on top, and then place a block right next to it, just like this. Now you want to extend that one out 1 more, like that. And this is where a repeater will go. You can run dust just like this. I'll show you a couple other ways you can do it here in just a second. So bring it over 1 more block like that, and place dust on top just like this. Now you're going to need to grab a redstone torch, and you're going to place a redstone torch on top of that block, or on the side of that block, and then place out a block like that and put a half slab underneath and then with some dust on top. And then you need to bring it over one more so that your redstone torch can reach that dust, like that. And we actually need to put a regular block here because we got our first redstone torch right there, so we got to line that up just like that. So you can see at every orange block we have on the machine, we need to put an orange block about every other one because those powers are between hoppers, so if that makes any sense. So you'll just put down 4 half slabs like this and then an orange block on top, and then that should be it. We're at the end of the machine, and now we're going to put a repeater right there and then another one right there. Alright, and place down some dust, and now you need to put a torch on the back side of those orange blocks that we just placed. So come underneath and drop in a torch just like that. You can delete out that torch from the inside. Do not delete that one. I deleted that one by mistake. Do not delete that one I just did. Okay, so make sure you put that one there or leave it there. The machine will still work fine just as it is. I won't have those hoppers locked. So yeah, just make sure you don't delete that one torch. Okay, so now we're going to test the optimizing the clock. So on that redstone torch right there, just come over and place a block. So you can see we burned out our redstone torch, which means our clock is way too fast. So we need to slow it down a little bit. That might be too slow, and let's just throw in another repeater here. And it'll start. Okay, we can go faster than that. So we can get it right there. Here we go. Looks good. So let's just set this other one. Again, guys, you'll have to play with this clock yourself. You need to make sure you do not overflow your storage systems or whatever you're putting this, because it will. So if you've downloaded the mega storage, then you won't have a problem. It can take it. And then you just want to place blocks all the way down just like this. And we're going to put repeaters right inside of these blocks here. Oh, not like that. Let's get in there. Not like that either. There we go. And this is what is going to power your droppers all the way down the line. There we go. Now you can put water streams underneath this. You can run hoppers underneath this, whatever you prefer or whatever you use on your storage system. So that sounds about right. So come over here to that block and then bring it up 3 more. And delete the 2 down there in the middle. And then place a sticky piston right inside there. Just like that. And place a lever on the front of that block right there. Like that, extend it, and bring it up. And that will shut off the ticking. So now we just need to hook up to that other piston that we have on the other side of the machine. So just come over here and run your blocks all the way down just like this until you get right there, and then put redstone dust right on the top of those blocks you just placed and connect them over like this. And this is where you're going to put your button to launch your carts. So let's go ahead and launch them. And there we go. Perfect. Now let's automate it. So we're going to put my carts back in. And come over here to this piston, and you're just going to place blocks right down there, just like that. You're going to take it all the way down like this, and then you're going to run them down the side as well. And then just finish it up like that. You know, run your blocks up. You can delete the block in front of the piston, but you want to put a repeater right there off that detector wheel with a dropper facing up, and then a dropper facing into it, and then a dropper facing just like that. So you have 3 droppers, and then you want to place a hopper facing down into that dropper there. Then you want to take an item. It can be a redstone dust. You don't want to put it in that one. You want to put it in this one. So just put it right in there. And place a comparator right there. And then you're going to put a repeater right in front of that comparator. Like that. Alright, so now when the carts get sent, it shuts off the clock. Alright, so now come to the back where that comparator was that you have facing into that hopper, and you're going to bring it out 2 blocks like this and run it down. And we need to carry this up to that other piston, so just grab it right there and bring it down. Work, and then we're going to place repeaters all the way down this whole thing, and you want to set all these repeaters to 4 ticks, every single one of them. So go ahead and carry it up, put a block on top, and then 2 blocks there, and then just put some dust right there on top of that. So this is one way you can do it. You can also do it like that with no piston. You just got to see, I mean, kind of do it your own way. You can do this part yourself, but we're going to go ahead and do it like this because our piston is down, as we can see right there. We want our piston to be up. And there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a test on this. We'll make sure it works. Let me grab some carts, delete out these ones. And we'll go ahead and put in our 5 carts. The 6th cart is what starts and controls the unloading and sending process. So the 6th cart. Let's go ahead and just drop all this stuff in here. Not the minecart. Alright, so go ahead and send it in. Alright, system's unloading them right now. And if we did it right, it should send them off just like that. Alright guys, that's it. That was another Panda tutorial. I hope you loved it. Like, comment, subscribe, and Panda out.